Okay, fine children, now we'll move to the exercise. Now I'll solve the first 5 sums of the exercise and the rest you have to do. Now it will be clear by this first explanation that how to follow this. Now in this exercise first, they have asked name the altitude. They have given the figure in which the triangle is given A, B, C. Now these are the 3 vertices. And what else they have given? They have given a perpendicular to side AB, that is CD, right? Now CD is perpendicular and it is from the opposite vertex to this. And again there is one more perpendicular over here to side BC, that is AF. Now there is a third perpendicular drawn to the side AC and that is BE. Now what is, according to the definition, what is altitude? As I have explained you, altitude is a perpendicular line drawn from a vertex to the opposite side. Now here they have asked you to name the altitude. So we'll take with the first side. Now here the perpendicular is CD. So CD will be the first altitude. So segment, how I'll write? Segment CD. Now the second side is BC. Now if I see which segment is perpendicular, AF is perpendicular to BC. So AF is the second altitude, right? Now third side is AC. And here the perpendicular segment is BE. So this is the altitude, the third altitude, BE. So which are the 3 altitude of this triangle? CD, AF and BE. Now we'll move to the second question. In this they have given the figure. The figure is KLP. It's a triangle, and in this triangle you can see that KN is a perpendicular to side LP, and it is the segment which is perpendicular to LP and it joins the opposite vertex. So here also by the first question you can make it out that Kn is a altitude in this figure, and Km is a point which joins from this vertex. It is drawn from the vertex to the opposite side and it joins at the midpoint. And you know very well that a segment which is drawn through the opposite vertex to the midpoint of the opposite side, that segment is a median. So here Km is the median in this figure and Kn is the altitude. So here in the question they have asked that in triangle KLP, segment KL, Kn is perpendicular, so it is known as altitude, right? And Km is, it joins at the midpoint of the opposite side, so it is known as median. So this is the answer to these 2 questions. Now we'll move to the third question. In the third question, the triangle is given UVW and UD they have given median. That means D is the midpoint of side VW. Now name the midpoint of the segment VW. Now which is the midpoint? It is D. That means it divides equal half median, that is VD is equal to DW, right? Now here they have given length of VD is given. This is 5. So as VD is equal to DW, so DW is also 5. That means this is 5, this is 5. As this is a median, it touches as a midpoint. Now then they have asked, if VD is 5, what is the length of VW? Now VW is a segment. How we get? VD plus DW. That means 5 plus 5. And what does it give? It gives 10. So the length of this VW is 10 centimeter, whatever unit is given, right? So this is the answer. D is the midpoint as they have given, because this segment joins at the midpoint. Now D is a midpoint, so it divides this into 2 equal half. If one is given 5, the other will be also 5. So the total length of BW is 5 plus 5, that gives us 10. Now we'll move to the fourth sum which is given in your exercise. In this again they have given a triangle. Triangle PQR and PD is the altitude. Why? Because it is perpendicular to the opposite side. So here they have given segment PD is perpendicular to QR and can be altitude as well as median. Now D is a midpoint, right? And it is also perpendicular to this side. So it is right. Yes, it is median as well as altitude. Why? Because it satisfies both the condition which is required for median and altitude. For altitude it should be perpendicular to the opposite side, and for median it should be a midpoint of the opposite side. So here D is satisfying both the thing. It's a midpoint as well as it is perpendicular. So yes, you have to write the answer. Yes, it can be because D is midpoint. D is a midpoint and it is also perpendicular to segment QR. Now, fifth question, they are asked to draw PQR and segment QN altitude. Now you want QN as altitude. So altitude is what? Always a perpendicular. So when they have said QN, that means I have to see the vertex. From the Q vertex, I will draw perpendicular to the opposite side. So this will be 90 degree. So I can give you a name T. So what is the perpendicular? QT is perpendicular to DR. Right? So this is known as altitude. Here, sorry, they have already given you N. So I can give the name QN. So QN is a perpendicular. That's the reason it is known as altitude. Right? Now we'll move to second question, which is asked in triangle NPK, segment PS is a median. Now what do you mean by median? Median means a point from a vertex joins to the opposite side, where at the midpoint of the opposite side. So now here PS they have asked. So where you will start? From the vertex P, and you have to find the midpoint of opposite side. Suppose this is the midpoint and S they have given. So I'll name the S point, and when I join this, so it will give me a median. So PS is what? It is a median. Why it is a median? Because it joins the midpoint of the opposite side. As they have given PS, so I will start from P and join the opposite side at S, and it should be a midpoint of opposite side, then only it is known as median. Now the third one, they have given triangle BCD, and they have said you have to draw segment CN in such a way it should be a median also as well as altitude also. So now where is C? C is this vertex. As they have given CE, so I will draw from here. You want median also and altitude also. So that means it should be a midpoint. Here I will name it E. It should be perpendicular as well as midpoint at the same time. So I will draw a perpendicular from here to here. So this C is both. It is altitude as well as median. Why? It is altitude because CE is perpendicular to side BD. It is a median because E is a midpoint of BD. Hope so now this topic is very clear. Okay children, before moving to the next chapter, let me take a recap of what all terms we have learned, and now you have become familiar with the terms. Now the first thing which you have learned was a point. Point is what? A dot, a starting point of a line or an end point of a segment from where you start. Then there is a ray, the second term which we have learned. A ray, it starts from a point and it has an arrow on one side, that means it can extend. So this is origin, how you will name it, ray OA, right? Then we got the line, which is a set of infinite set of points, and it has arrow on both the sides. That means it can extend to any level on both the sides, and here we can name, as here it is given a line L. Then we have studied about a segment. What is a segment? A segment is a part of line. So here if I'll give point AB and we'll join that point, so this is a segment. Why it is known as segment? Because it has two endpoints, and we can name it as segment AB, right? Now after that we have learned that a collinear point, this term also I have taught you, a collinear point. What does a collinear point means? Collinear point means the points which are lying on the same line, or point which are on a line, not outside the line. So here in this line you can see point A, B, C. They all lie on the same line. Suppose this line is M. So this line M contains a point A, contains a point B and C. These all 3 points are all in it, that or on the line. So these points are known as collinear points. The next term which I taught you was a non-collinear points. Non-collinear points means all the given points are not on the line. Some of the points are outside the line. So here you can see, observe this figure. Your point P is on the line, R is on the line, but Q is not on the line, and S is also. So this PR is collinear point, but PQRS, when we talk about all this, so QS as it lies outside the line, so these points are non-collinear point. Now then I taught you concurrent lines. What are concurrent lines? When more than 2 lines passes through the same point. That means that point is common to all the line. It lies on all the lines. Suppose here line L, M, N. And here is the point O, which is line, or which is the point of intersection. From where the point line get intersected, that point is known as point of intersection. This O is common to all the line as it lies on it. So this point or these lines which passes through one single point, same point, are known as concurrent lines. Then we have learned parallel lines. What is parallel lines? Are 2 lines which have same distance throughout. They do not intersect. That means they move parallel to each other. So these lines, they will never meet. As in a river bank, they never meet. As I told you, the sides of the book, the 2 sides of the book is always parallel. The wall of a room, they are parallel. So these line M is parallel to N. Why it is parallel? Because they are throughout, they have the same distance and they do not meet each other. When 2 lines meet each other, that means they intersect each other, and there is one point common, like be this line A and B, and here C is a point where they intersect. So this C point is known as intersecting or point of intersection, and these lines, when they intersect each other at a point and that point is common to both the line, then these lines are known as intersecting line, right? Then there was another term which I told you, that was perpendicular lines. Now what do you mean by perpendicular lines? Lines which intersect at a point and forms a 90-degree angle. So here line L is given and M, and there is suppose a line M which intersect line L and forms a 90-degree angle. So this is intersecting as well as it is forming a 90-degree angle. So such lines are known as perpendicular lines. They are here I can write line M is perpendicular to line L, and vice versa also you can write, because you can see here also 90 degree and here also 90 degree. So I can write as well as line L is perpendicular to line M. That means they both are perpendicular to each other. So the other thing which you have learned about properties of triangle. Now what is triangle? Triangle is a figure, as I told, it is a polygon with 3 sides and 3 angles. It has 3 sides. So sides, how you can write? You can write as a segment AB is the first side, then segment BC is the second side, then segment AC. So these are the 3 sides, and there are 3 angles. Angle A, angle B, angle C. I have also taught you how to write the angle in 1 letter and 3 letter. And that letters, that name can be written in clockwise or anti-clockwise. And how to name the triangle? I can name triangle. You can write the symbol for a triangle ABC. Right? Then there was another term that is known as altitude. Now altitude, as I have explained you, it is a segment from the opposite vertex to this side, opposite side, or you can say from a vertex to the opposite side, and it is perpendicular to the opposite side. So for altitude it should be perpendicular. A segment which is perpendicular to a side and meets the opposite vertex, or a segment from the vertex to the opposite side and it is perpendicular, that is known as altitude, which is also known as height of that triangle. Right? Then I also taught you about the median. Now what is the median? Median is what? It is a segment drawn from the vertex to the opposite side, but here it should meet at the midpoint. So M is what? It is a midpoint of PQ, right? M is a midpoint of PQ, as the line R or segment RM, it's through the vertex to the opposite side and it is meeting at the midpoint. So RM is what? RM is a median. Is a median of what? Which triangle? Whatever name is given. Here it is given RPQ or PQR. So median of triangle PQR. I can write like this. Right? Then I have also taught you the angles. What are angles? Angles are union of 2 rays having a point in a common. So union of 2 rays, that means ray this and this. These are non-collinear rays. That also I explained you. Non-collinear rays means they are not in the same position or same distance. Here the rays, here the union is, I can give the name OA and OB. So this is the point from where it starts, ray OA, and this is the same point from where the ray OB also starts. So point O is common to both the rays. So when 2 non-collinear rays have a point, common endpoint, then it forms an angle. Now these here in this figure, this is angle bisector. If in an angle I draw a ray from the same endpoint which divides this angle into 2 equal halves, then that ray is known as angle bisector. Same way in a triangle, if from a one vertex I'll draw a ray which divides this angle into 2 equal halves, then this is known as angle bisector ray. So what is angle bisector ray? Angle bisector ray is a ray which divides the angle into 2 equal halves. If suppose it is angle Y is 60 degree, then the half it will be like, suppose here I'll give you W. So this angle XYW will be 30 degree and angle WYZ will be also 30 degree. And that's the reason, as it divides into two equal halves, it is known as angle bisector ray. Now the last 3 points you have to remember, it may come as a fill in the blanks in your exam. That we have seen that a triangle is a figure with 3 sides and 3 angles. So the altitude can be drawn. There are 3 altitudes which can be drawn to all the 3 sides. And we saw that all the 3 altitude, they passes through one point. So there are 3 altitude, that means more than 2. So all the 3 altitude are concurrent because they passes through one point, and that point is common to all the 3 altitude. Same way, the perpendicular bisector of the 3 sides of a triangle are also concurrent because they also meet at or intersect at a point which is common to all. So we can say the perpendicular bisector of 3 sides of a triangle are concurrent. Then the three medians of a triangle are also concurrent. Why they are concurrent? Because they also passes through a point. All the 3 median passes through a point, and that point is known as point of concurrence, and the lines or medians are known as concurrent median. So here we comes to the end of the first chapter, that is property of triangle.